when did you fall in love with like women in hip hop? Hello, everybody. That song that you just heard was Don't Play With It by Lola Brooke featuring Billy B. Now, when I first heard this, like when I first listened to it, I don't know why, but before, because I was listening to it and it was on in the background and I was like scrolling through Twitter or something. And it just reminded me of Philly, like not the accent, but it was the vibe was giving me Philly. And then I went and I like looked at the video. Obviously, they're not in Philly. These are obviously like New York ass niggas, but there was something about it that just felt very Philly to me. Like
I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love the energy of it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like it felt like just like off the rip, like let's go.
Right.
Like,
yeah, Brie, that's very you. Like you like kind of that you kind of are a drill girl in my opinion. Like you kind of like that people just spitting bars and talking their shit. So yeah, it fits you.
I like the bravado. Like I like the okay, like let's just go in.
No,
like,
yeah, that shit was from her. That shit was from her chest. Like for real, for real. How did you? I don't think I've ever heard of Lola Brooke. Where did you find her, Sherman?
Me either.
Don't y'all remember that viral video of those girls doing the freestyle, like the New York girls doing the freestyle at the it looked like it was at a radio station. I don't know. Like it was like the green.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think you didn't see it. I think it was like it was like a green tent. I believe it was. No. It was like a bunch of girls from New York, and it was a cipher type thing. And I was like, I'm gonna pick somebody from this group to like look into their songs some more. And Lola, her name kind of like popped up a lot, so I was like, I'm gonna choose her.
Okay, so she's like out here. Like,
yeah.
Cool. Okay, doing her thing. All right. Well, get into Miss Lola Brooke.
Get into it, yeah.
Yeah, get into it. Okay, but hi guys. Hi again. This is the second time we've recorded this week. Also for everybody wanting to, just skip right ahead to the interview. I'll put in the show notes at what point the interview starts. And I also just want to say real quick, because the recording got cut off before we could. There were several things that were mentioned, like books and scholars, that the recording got cut off. So I just want to mention those. So there was Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall is something you should look up. Kaylin Coghill is, a hip hop feminist scholar, womanist scholar, and Blues Legacies and Black Feminism by Angela Y. Davis and Kaisha Jennings, who actually, I think, Sherman, you just sent us a piece that
paper that she wrote.
Did. She analyzed. It's called "City Girls, Hot Girls, and the Reimagining of Black Women in Hip Hop in Digital Spaces." So those are some more like hip hop womanist, hip hop feminist like works that Adeerya had mentioned, and the recording like got cut off before, and we just talked a little bit after. So get into those, look into those. Follow them on Twitter, follow them on the Instagram, like share their work, read their work, support Black women who are doing the work to center Black women in hip hop and womanist and feminist spaces. But yeah, so we had our interview and it was really, really good. And this is actually the second time, like I said, the second time we're meeting this week, but we didn't get to like chat last time. So like we usually do, what's up, guys? How's it going? What you into? What you listening to?
Yeah, Shermy, how's your job?
Shermy has a job, y'all. J-O-B.
Working for the man.
Working for the man. So like funny. Got benefits and shit. Like Shermy got somewhere to be 9 to 5.
Yeah, somewhere to be.
Somewhere to be 9 to 5. Like for real. Has a lunch break.
Yeah, I don't really use my lunch break because I work from home. So like, but
Grind doesn't stop.
It's been cool. It's cute or whatever. As long as this stay work from home situation, I could dig it.
What else has been going on though for you though? Aside this teaching.
Honestly, I have been like chilling. I am I'm on the last episode of the Netflix show Inventing Anna.
Mm.
And all I have to say is sometimes white is right. Because how the fuck? Let me tell you, my nigga,
so I don't know.
My nigga ass never would have got away. This bitch is not only scamming people, like she's not just scamming people for like Chanel bags and Birkin. She's trying to get loans from banks, saying she's an heiress. No, this bitch is scamming banks. She stole a private jet to go to Warren Buffett's house. Are you out of your mind? She got her picture pinned up in every 5-star hotel in New York City saying this bitch don't pay her bill. That level of scamming is almost like admirable. Like and no black person could get away with that.
Yeah, no black person could get away with that type of shit.
And
even like the Tinder swindler.
Baby,
I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard it's very, very scandalous.
Talking about my enemies are after me. Can you take out a loan for $30,000?
$50,000. Like these girls are in debt.
Child, 6 figures debt. And when I tell you all I would have for him was a prayer, don't you ever call? Don't
Thoughts
you ever?
And prayers.
If my friends ever fix their mouths to ask me to borrow over $100,
I don't even give my mama $5.
I'ma be looking at their ass real
and
crazy.
I live with her.
I'ma be looking at their ass real crazy. The fuck you talking about? Cause baby, let me tell you how I wouldn't have gotten approved for none of those loans.
None of it.
Not one of them. Talking about, okay, can you take out another loan? $50,000. Can you take out another loan? And whole time he spent it on another bitch. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. These niggas is crazy, y'all.
Yes.
I heard he got a dating show coming out, or he wants a dating show. He got signed to an agency.
Please stop.
I don't know if it's true, but
let me tell you, that's how you know, like, white people don't ever face any real consequences. Like, I know all the money that he makes, he's gonna have to pay them in restitution. Like there's no doubt in my mind that he's gonna have to pay them in something like restitution because he's frauded them. I don't think, he's like defrauded them. I don't think
so. I think
what?
No, I think those girls are just in debt. Like they're just in debt. Like that's it.
They're in debt because they willingly did it. They willingly gave them their money.
That's disgusting to me.
It's just manipulation.
Very, very disgusting.
That's disgusting.
I don't want to put just there, but
So what's up with you, Bree?
You know.
Yeah, what's up with you?
I've been doing a new routine. I've been waking up at 6 a.m., going to the gym, meditating, getting myself right.
Yes.
So I feel good. My year started in February for me, so we're about 20 days in.
February.
So
I'll
be honest, February wasn't that good of a start. If I'm being honest, this Black History Month wasn't that good.
There's been a lot going on. There's been a lot going on this Black History Month. We'll try again in June.
I'm gonna say June. Nah, June.
We'll try again in June.
June is Black History Month Part 2 for sure.
Yeah, so we'll try again in June.
But then you also know Black History Month in the UK is October, so we got 2 more chances.
Okay.
To get it right.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's all plan a visit to the UK in October.
Yes, that would be nice.
Yeah, let's
a nice little vacay abroad.
Let's do it.
Where my girls at Takes London?
Takes London. Somebody invite us to London.
Steph, Miss Banks, Iverian.
Please.
Yes. Come on.
We want to come.
You got a show.
We want to come. We want to come to London.
But I think we got a lot of great topics for today. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's going on.
A lot of announcements. So
where do you all want to start? Yeah.
Okay, let's actually start with new music because we always end with new music.
That's
but
true.
Okay. Bitch, we have to talk about this Baby Tay song. Let me tell you how I'm back in my hoe.
Spaghetti.
Bitch, I'm back in my hoe era. She just reignited it. She told me,
like, you're right.
And I hopped right back into my bag. Okay, I hopped right back into my bag. She said, swallow his, and then she said something about spitting in his mouth. Like, what?
No, she's like, swallow your kids and then spit it back in your mouth.
And then she's like, she said, "There's nothing wrong with the facial. Like, I heard it's good for the skin."
Listen,
I said,
so
nasty.
Yeah, she was wild in this one. She was wild.
I heard it while I was at the gym. Like, I was like, oh, it came out. And then I was like listening, and I was like in the middle of a set, and I was like,
ooh, like you had to, like you had to stop to like.
I had to stop to listen.
Like, wait a minute. Wait.
I was like, this is a lot, but yo, I've been bumping it.
I've been nonstop.
Ugh.
I like the double release that she did. She did
I
didn't. Did you like the other song?
And she did the R&B song. I thought it was cute.
I didn't listen to it.
So I thought it was okay. It reminded me of it sounded familiar to something that she has already released. Like it's had a similar type of like beat like lyrics, but yeah, no, I thought it was similar to something she had already released.
Love it. Okay, Bree Runway also came with some fucking heat.
Fire.
Oh my god, this song is like when it's like summertime and the clubs are like full effect. I just know this is about to go up in the gay clubs. I just wish she had like more of a presence in the US because
I wish so bad because she could literally like be the fun girl songs that we're like missing in the club for the girls.
This is it. This is the song. Are you kidding me? This is the song. This is the song we're missing.
I don't know what her team is or like who she's signed to. If she's
in the US,
in the UK. Like I don't know if she's signed or anything, or if this is like just her releasing stuff independently. But I kind of want her to have a similar success to Santana that he's having online.
Oh my god, Santana is having the best moment, and you know what? It's so well deserved.
It truly is
because it's just like he can do it all. You know, he's like, and I think we talk a lot about like, oh, Santana's so funny, Santana's so this. Santana can rap.
Yeah,
Santana has bars. Santana has a good ear. Has a good ear for what's gonna fit his style, for what's gonna fit him. He can rap. Like he really does that and deserves like all the success that he's having right now. Like
for sure,
everybody is trending on TikTok because like everybody like I feel like he's just owning
they have
TikTok
Material
right now. Like when we do
on the runway for Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week,
and deserve it and well deserved, you know, like he's like deserving it. This Sweetie song, obviously I did not like it.
For obvious reasons. I was more disappointed that her was on this song. I was like, this was a step below you. Like,
but see, like I said, I don't know what her's doing these days. Like, none of these moves are making sense. None of these collaborations are making sense to me lately. Like, why are you on a DJ Khaled song, her? What's happening? What's happening?
Also, didn't this Closer song sound like a little bit similar to Back to the Streets to you all?
I really think they're.
I liked Back to the Streets though.
I like Back to the Streets, but I'm just saying like
it's commercial songs, so like songs that could be played on a commercial.
And you know what? Vince Staples was just talking about this kind of thing.
Like they're because here's the thing: if
they're not dumb.
Tried to put out a serious song, like how serious would you take it?
Not at all.
Especially at this point in her career, when we've like seen where it's kind of like, girl, I don't know what it looked like. You know, like probably early in the day, if she put out a serious song that could have potentially been a bop, it could have worked. But like, I think now they're more so leaning into her being like pop rap, commercial songs.
That's true.
Not even pop rap.
I've been hearing, what is it? I'm Coming In Fast. Like, I've heard that on a bunch of different commercials.
And you know what? Recently. And like I said, Vince Staples was just talking about this, like, on an interview about, like, his album Big Fish Theory. I don't know if you remember, but when that dropped, it was, like, everywhere. And it was but he said he did it. He made that album specifically so that it could be syndicated and synced in movies and TV shows. And one of the songs was literally in the commercial for Black Panther. It was in the trailer. Mm-hmm. And he said about, like, 75%, 80% of that album was syndicated, was synced in movies and TV shows. And I think that's what Sweetie's doing right now. And I think that's what Sweetie's doing right now. Either that or she's just really not good at this. She's just really not good at this. She's just really not good at rapping. This is because it's like there has to be some strategy behind this, like, just terribleness and like commerciality of what she's doing.
The strategy is that they're not gonna stop her. They're not gonna stop her musically, or like she's not gonna stop musically. The labels aren't gonna be like, okay, girl, we just need to cut this. So it's like, girl, where can you fit?
Right.
And the fit right now is songs that's gonna be played in Forever 21.
Old Navy commercials.
H&M.
The old
H&M. Girl, but listen, that's what it's giving. Yeah. It's giving $5.99, buy one get one free through the weekend.
Right, like, presidential weekend
sale. Like, that's what it's giving. And I guarantee if I turn on the TV, I don't have cable, but if I had cable right now,
I could flip to a channel and that's gonna be on a commercial.
of a store nobody shops at, of a store Sweetie don't shop at. But
Okay.
you know
Definitely
what?
doesn't
Getting
shop at.
paid.
Exactly.
And you know, I'm not mad
Their
at that.
strategy is get money. That's her strategy.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
right.
What are our thoughts on busing? Yeah, what are our thoughts on busing?
So originally I thought that this was gonna be the song that we got, the first drop.
You thought this was gonna be it?
No, I thought like this is the vibe. That's actually
Oh yeah,
like the vibe, the feel that we were gonna get. It's cool.
Yeah, I didn't really. I was like, okay, but it didn't. It wasn't like I don't actively like this, but it didn't impress me. Like I don't really.
Yeah.
I
wasn't impressed.
I'm not impressed. Like this is a lackluster ass comeback she's having.
I thought it was gonna be better. Yeah, but I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we're just like working because they are two different songs, so maybe they're trying
very
to see
different. I think
what gets like the reaction, like
what. And Do We Have a Problem is, you know, number 2
I'm gonna say
on the
number
chart.
2.
It's number 2 on the Billboard charts, which she made a whole thing about, of course, about, you know, not going number 1. Because, you know, her fans be working like it's a full-time fucking job.
No, because it is a full-time job for them. It is.
It is. Well, I mean, they ain't got no job. They 12. So all they got to do is, like, sneak their phone into the school bathroom and start tweeting, Nicki Minaj is the queen of rap. And fuck Cardi B, and like that's their whole day. It's not homework. It's not learn fractions. It's not learn contractions or how to structure an essay.
All right, the teacher Mariah is coming out.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, were there any other songs on this list that we wanted to talk about before we move on to topics? Because we've already kind of talked about that.
Nope. What else?
Okay, let's talk about Nicki Minaj then.
Did y'all listen to Shensea's new song with 21 Savage?
No, I did not.
I did not.
I wasn't interested. She hasn't. It hasn't captured.
She hasn't been hitting. She hasn't been hitting recently. For me at least.
So I'm not. I'm just like, okay. If it's like it pops up and it like comes up on my shuffle or some shit and it's cool, okay, I'm gonna listen to it. But I don't think I'm actively seeking out her music because it just is not giving. Like the talent that I know she has. Exactly. Like the talent that I know she has. Like it's like lackluster. Like what is she going for? You know? What is this?
I really think their goal is to like fit into the American crowd, but I don't necessarily.
But she doesn't have to change.
Like she doesn't have to
do that.
Right.
She doesn't have to change to do that.
And I don't know if y'all remember this, but were y'all, I mean, this wasn't that long ago, but it was these two girls from England. I don't know which city specifically, but they had a song, and I believe that they are signed to QC, or they was signed to QC, and it was very much like British accent with like hella like British accents meet the city girls, and like the video of them went like super viral, and everyone was like, this does not make sense. Like this is not it. Like this is terrible. Not necessarily because like they were terrible rappers, but it's because like why are they trying to make like that's not how they talk in the UK. So like why are they saying these type of slang words? And
who was it? I cannot
like, oh my god, I'm gonna look it up again. But I swear to God, like, okay, keep on the show, but when I find it, I'm gonna send it to y'all.
Sure. Right. Okay. So, speaking of Nicki Minaj, while we're on the subject, like we said, Do We Have a Problem is number 2 on the charts. I don't think it's gonna go number 1. I think this is the highest it's gonna peak. This is the highest it's gonna peak. It might fall off the charts in like a week. And Big Energy is at number 28, and I just wanna say to all you haters out there, I said this would happen. I said this would happen.
You were a believer. You're right.
Exactly. I was a believer. Go back and listen to the episode where I said it. And now what's the girl doing now? She's performing on late night TV shows. She's going on it. She's headlining her own tour. She has her first solo chart entry. I said this would happen.
I'm really happy for her.
I'm really happy for her.
I mean, we knew what the name change was for, but I don't think no one predicted that Big Energy would be.
Okay, well, I did.
I'm gonna say besides you, but I think this wasn't on people's 2020 radar, 2022 bingo.
But you know what? Now it is. Don't ever count her out, because all she's been doing is looking good and fucking working. And I'm really proud of her. No bullshit for Lotto this year. And that's exactly what the fuck she needs. But Nicki Minaj versus TikTok. Let's talk about this disaster of a TikTok event, child. So Nicki Minaj hosted a surprise Zoom call with, it was supposed to be for TikTok's Black History Month campaign or whatever. I don't know why she did that. I mean, I know why, but it's so random and so like blatant.
Can we just
like you could have been
with the choice of Nicki?
Yeah, like why her?
Well, I think that maybe she had reached out to them. I don't think it was the other way around. Okay. Because we knew the single was coming out, and we know she's like what she's trying to do with it. Like you could, there's a huge TikTok push for it, and that, and like I said, like I always say, don't ever think shit happens out of nowhere. Everything is somebody's job, okay? And you don't think that somebody was like, hey, this is how you get that number one. You know?
Okay. Well, you keep going to the story, but that was interesting.
No, but like, and then so obviously, like you probably heard about how all these Black creators in the Zoom call, a bunch of them didn't get the link, a bunch of them couldn't get into the room. No, a lot of Black creators did not get to ask any questions, and it was a bunch of white creators and non-Black POC creators that were talking over them, and it's like how very fitting of TikTok to do this to these Black creators who, without whom this platform would just be
fueling the platform,
would just go downhill. Because let me tell you this, I have not seen one video of one of them D'Amelio people on TikTok since I joined. Not one.
I also worked very hard to make sure that my TikTok For You page stays Black. So.
But even before I knew how that worked, they never came up on it. It was the Black people.
They also didn't come up on mine either. I would get some white people, but I would never get them.
It's never them. The white people are never them. So explain to me how you host this event, and it's supposed to be for Black people, and you invite all these extra people, and then you don't let any of the Black people talk. You don't let any of the Black people ask questions.
That was the start of this terrible Black History Month. That's something.
That was. It truly was. Because all these Black creators like, I'm so excited to be Nicki Minaj. Then 12 hours later, they're all like, y'all have no idea how fucked up this was. And I feel so bad for them because they're working so hard. Bad.
And getting nothing in return.
Getting nothing.
Who was on the highest paid TikTok list?
Not one of them. Not one of the people who are keeping that app, who are carrying that shit on their backs.
Yo,
and it really sucks. And it really sucks. Speaking
what
of
really like hurt me about it was that like a lot of the people were like, a lot of the non-Black people were like, oh, like it, like Black history should be like celebrated. It's for everyone to celebrate. And I'm like, bruh,
fuck that. Shut up.
If they would have told you that like the founders of Black Lives Matter would have been there, you would not be that pressed to go in. Like,
or if they had said like, oh, this is an event for, you know, Pride Month. And we're celebrating like, you know, trans activists, and it had been like you know, like a Kim Petras or somebody. Wouldn't you be mad if it's a bunch of cis people, a bunch of cis white or cis Black people, non-queer, who are speaking up? But when it comes to Black people, nobody wants to.
They said they want to meet Nicki Minaj. They saw Nicki Minaj. I said, hell yeah, I'm there. Like, that's all you gotta say. Just say that.
You know what? But the thing is why? Like, why couldn't they just like? Why can't we just have anything to ourselves?
Because then that would be equality. That would mean that like change is actually happening, and like no, I'm just an activist for y'all, and I just support y'all. But like y'all need.
Before we move on from Nicki Minaj, and let's just let this be the last thing. Did y'all see her tweets yesterday?
No, about what?
No.
Bird brain ass bitch tweeting about the vaccine again.
Oh no, I'm good.
I did not see that.
Okay, we won't talk about it.
I did see her show her ass on Instagram Live, though. Did you all see that?
No.
No, I saw her arguing with that girl on TikTok, though.
Of course. Of course she was. Of course she was. What else? What else does she have to do? It's not like she has an infant child to take care of. It's not like she has a husband who's in constant embroiled in legal battle. She has time, all the time in the fucking world, to be on TikTok arguing with niggas. Please go to hell.
Okay, we got the mess out the way. Let's get some fun stuff going. Let's get some fun stuff going.
Okay.
I was gonna say about
Where you want to go?
Yes, let's talk about Meg.
She got a lot of shit going on. So what's up?
She does.
Okay. Well, first I was gonna say like still on kind of the topics like hinting at a new album. I'm curious to see like what this will look like.
I really think it's going to be another Hot Girl Summer, like another Fever situation. But I did hear there's a collab with Dua Lipa. Like,
Oh,
everybody's, like, all but
Really?
confirmed. Everybody's, like, all the little sites, everything is, like, the collab with Dua Lipa has happened. It's coming. What is that going to sound
I was
like?
like, what do you
I
think it's gonna
don't
sound
know.
like?
I don't know. I really don't know. But I don't think Meg is, like, in her pop
That's
bag.
I'm like,
Like,
has
she's not
Meg
the person
done
to call.
good for pop?
No, she hasn't. Remember that Maroon 5 song?
Yes.
But we know how I feel about Maroon 5, so, yeah, so I'm like, biased.
I liked her on BTS, or maybe I just like BTS and it was like cute. That
I've never heard a BTS song, but I didn't think it was different. You know,
I'm like, it wasn't. Yeah,
it's not.
It was like okay. It was like okay. So if and I hate to bring her up, you know, because she's in a completely different category. But think of like Ariana Grande and Doja Cat, like or Doja Cat in like any like she can do that. Because she has that versatility, and I just have not seen that in Meg. But I definitely am gonna listen. Like I'm excited. And and then they also performed Megan and Doja. And did Sweetie also perform at the Fanatic Super Bowl party?
She performed at another party.
At another party, somebody had Sweetie. Child, they asked her to perform again. And Doja Cat had a Super Bowl commercial, like
with Taco Bell.
Yeah, with Taco Bell, and she recorded that song, that Courtney Love song, "Celebrity Skin" or something like that. And then
Meg had a commercial as well with Frito-Lay.
And
then Cardi B had a GoPuff.
Cardi B had a GoPuff commercial. Like, get in your fucking bags. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, because we know Super Bowl commercials is paying money.
They is paying money.
No, for real.
And
they really do.
They really are like all in there. Just like they're just. I just love how.
I love how they're getting like really incorporated in the sports a little bit.
Yeah, like
they're really present. They're really present.
Present in all this like big business. Like Bia has partnered with Robin Hood and with Dolls Kill for a makeup line. And I'm like, that is what Bia deserves. You know, we said we put her on that list last year, and then she got our award this year of biggest come up. And I think she's gonna
riding off of it.
And you know what? I respect that, because it's like, you know, you got to strike while it's hot.
Yeah, you really do.
You got to strike while it's hot. And she's been hinting at new collabs with people, and I'm like, that's good. Like, the girls need to be collabing together.
And I'm happy she's riding off this For Certain success. Like, yes. I think that album was really good. So
I really like.
I think she could push this for the year, and then like maybe give us a little something at the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't think we need another like full Bia project. Let's get some little singles. Let's get you up there. Let's get you.
Let's get some performances.
Let's get you on these like circuits, these festival circuits. Like, let's get Bia out there. In front of people, so people, it's not just like the niche, oh, we're in this community, know who Bia is, and we fuck with Bia. No, it's everybody who's fucking with Bia. Let's get Bia a pop collab. I'm not talking like a Dua Lipa, but like, what about Charlie XCX? You know, like Baby Tate.
Charlie's about to go on tour with us.
Right. And Baby Tate's about to go on tour with Charlie XCX, and I really think that's going to be a big moment for her.
Oh, it is.
Because
that was Charlie XCX.
Charlie XCX. Did you ever hear the song? Boom, clap, the sound of my heart, the beat goes on.
I think they do have a song together too, I believe.
Oh, really?
And then you know that other song that Charlie XCX did with Iggy Azalea?
I'm gonna say Fancy.
Fancy. I'm so fancy. That's her.
Oh,
that's her. That's Charlie XCX. She's really big in the gay community.
She's really big.
Really big in the gay community. And I think it's going to be a big moment for Baby Tate, though. I really do.
Yeah. I have a question for y'all about, so this is our second or third tour that we've announced in a week. I mean, since the last recording. So it's very clear that the girls are like about to start going on tour, or you know.
Everybody is.
So what are we looking for in a tour? What are we expecting from tour performances, or what do we want to see? Because I think it's going to be the year of performances for the girls.
That's what I want to see. A performance. I want a show. Okay? I want you up there. I want you moving. I want you to give us some razzle dazzle. I want you to give us some visuals. I want you to give us some dance moves. I want you to pull out the hits for the fans, but also pull out the deep cuts that only the fans know. Like, I want a show. I want some good merch. Don't just, iron your logo onto a Hanes t-shirt.
I
want some shit with some care.
I agree. I would like that too. And I think adding on top of that, I'd like to see like, I don't know, some like crowd involvement more, like being able to interact with the fans a little bit. Like I like when they also have those personal moments where in between songs and sets, like they get to tee up songs of like, hey, I was in this type of state, like this is what inspired me to write that.
And
like,
a lot of
I
them,
like seeing those connections.
And a lot of them aren't seasoned enough.
Yeah, I'm about to say, the songs they gotta hit like that. So maybe Baby Tate can give us that with like the After the Rainbow, because we know that was about after a breakup.
Yeah.
But I don't know if a lot of the girls got that just yet.
They don't have the range. Like they're still very afraid of live performances. I think a lot of them don't have that. So it's definitely something you want to see. It's definitely something that's very interesting. But are we gonna get it? Who knows? But I'm excited to see it. Like I don't know which one I'm gonna see. I don't know which one I'm gonna be able to see.
I'm not gonna go to this Charlie one. I'm not.
That's not really my vibe. I know one Charlie XCX song.
The Lotto one might get me because it got
the Lotto one. Yeah, Santana is Callie.
Callie, that's what I call her.
Who else? Someone else is on that. That I really want to see. So I might end up going to the Lotto one because it's general admission. So the ticket's not gonna be that much, and I can just show up. But I'm definitely gonna try and go to some of these though.
Yeah,
definitely. What else? Okay, so we talked about go ahead.
Meg having her Snapchat show.
Snapchat with her fur babies.
I'm excited. Show? I'm upset that it's a Snapchat show because when's the last time you all used Snapchat? I haven't used it.
I haven't downloaded the app.
Snapchat is actually a very, very poppin' app. Like
it's still alive.
As someone who works in the digital advertisement space, people are dead ass like still running like ads and like are getting good money off of Snapchat ads, and like having a Snapchat show is damn near somewhat equivalent to like having like a good web series.
I did not know that.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either until I took that class. Snapchat is not as dead as it like may seem to us. Like
I don't use Snapchat.
People are like, I was excited about it because I was like, oh, like she has her own show. She gets to like bring in new like some of her like celebrity friends and they get to hang out. But I was like, it's on Snapchat though. Like I'm probably
the thing is the kids are using Snapchat. So like the high schoolers and
I didn't know that
elementary school, like they're using Snapchat. So maybe I don't know.
The kids at my school aren't even allowed to bring phones. Like they have to hand in their phones at school. So I really don't.
You are in a rich school.
Like they aren't even allowed to bring phones. So I don't know, but I mean, good for her. Like,
no, but I'm
happy for some guests. Like Ricky Thompson's on it, Kelly Rowland's on it. Like people are on the show. Normani's on it.
Yeah, and like I don't think I see it on here, but like she's in a movie now. Meg's
she's gonna be in a movie with Nathan Lane, Megan Mullally, and it's a musical. It's A24, and it's a musical comedy. And it's like her first big.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what it'll be like. It'll be interesting to see her like acting a little bit more. So it's nice that she'll
what do we think? What do we think it's gonna be like? Yeah, it's an A24 musical comedy called Fucking Identical Twins. Bowen Yang, Megan Mullally, Nathan Lane, and Megan Thee Stallion. Like,
is she like in it? Or?
Yes, she's in it.
Are we talking Chris Brown?
No. I don't know. We haven't.
Are we talking Chris Brown Stump the Yard? Or are we talking about Chris Brown This Christmas?
I don't know. We haven't seen it yet. That's all the information that's been released about it. So I don't know.
But we'll see. We'll
see.
I don't know.
Rooting for her.
About this, but okay.
Rooting for her. Okay. What about Young M.A.?
Can we talk about that, please? Can we talk about that?
First of all, I watch We Bare Bears. Like when I'm high as shit, that show is so fucking funny. When I'm high,
that's
on Cartoon Network. It's actually incredibly well written. It's so fucking funny.
I've heard that a lot of their cartoons have been like really, really good. Like I used to watch Craig and the Creek.
Cartoons are so good. Like their cartoons are
like,
really well
was into
written.
Steven Universe. Everyone was into that.
It's like the cartoons are so fucking funny on Cartoon Network. Like their programming has like just gone up and up and up. And I think We Bare Bears is such a smart, like quick little children's comedy, but there's some jokes that are going to go over kids' heads that I get. And I'm like, oh, this is for me too. And so when I'm high, I always turn that shit on. So
how'd you feel about hearing Younger May's voice?
First of all, I didn't recognize it until I saw the clip on Twitter. And then I was like, wait a motherfucking minute. I said, you better get that bag. But the thing is it really worked.
It did.
Like it really worked. I think it really worked. Like I think she did a really good job on the episode. So I wasn't mad at it.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch like the show. Like I gotta see the full episode.
Just go back
but I want to know what other, because like do y'all remember when like celebrities used to pop up on cartoons? They'd be like,
girl, the Proud Family is about to come back.
That's what I'm saying. So like,
you know, they all gonna be on the Proud Family.
Well, they put a list out who's gonna be on the Proud Family. I think Lizzo's gonna be on there.
Lizzo's in it.
I know Lil Nas X. I don't know about any other girls, but
first of all, I really think that
Santana.
I think Santana and Flo Milli and Baby Tate, and I like, who else? Definitely Doja Cat. Maybe Meg. I don't know. Like I just want to see Cardi B. Definitely. I want them to be. I want to see them. I want to see them doing voiceover work. I don't give a fuck what it's for, but I want to see them doing voiceover work.
I could see Doja Cat definitely being.
Doja Cat,
like it's kind of
Santana would be with some voiceover work. I think Flo Milli would be really good with it too. Like I just think she has this very interesting like voice and
unique voice.
And, like there's sometimes when I watch an old episode of The Proud Family and I'm like, that's this person, that's that person. Like you can immediately like, that's Monique, that's Anthony Anderson, that's Shirley Ralph. Like you can just place them, and it's like, damn, you can't really do that anymore. So I like that we're bringing that back, and I think the Proud Family is gonna usher that back in. Like,
I do too.
And especially with COVID now too, like niggas is trying to get into voiceover work because you don't have to be vaccinated to do it, and you don't gotta leave the comfort of your own home.
You ain't gotta go nowhere. Exactly. I want to see the City Girls on the new Proud Family, and I want them to be Dejanay Cousins.
They would eat if they played this. I hope they get cast in that. The City Girls need to be doing voiceover.
Carisha's voice, come on,
please. They need to be Dejanay's like little sisters and brother. What are her sisters' names? Paprika.
All the spices, cinnamon, all the spices,
cinnamon. Like they need to be them, okay? Or they can be BB and CC.
That would be so funny. Yes,
they can be BB and CC.
That is so funny.
But they should be on that.
Bree, do you have anybody?
What else?
Anybody I said Doja Cat would be really cool. I feel like on a cartoon, or like Cardi B, I think would be hilarious.
I think Cardi B would eat. Like Cardi B would eat. You know what it's kind of giving me?
Like her laugh.
I'm seeing when Mariah Carey was on the Proud Family, like when she came in for that one episode.
Yeah,
I'm kind of.
And she played like Mariah Carey. And she played like Mariah Carey. I think Cardi B should play Cardi B on the TV show. That would be so fucking funny.
She's
so
enough of a character on her own.
Yeah. Who else? Yeah. Okay, so what else is going on here? We have some things.
I want to talk about
Lizzo.
We could do Lizzo first. I
was gonna say, Lizzo has a new reality competition show for finding like big girl dancers
on Amazon. Amazon is really hopping in their music bag. They're in their music bag, which tells me we're about to be getting more like Amazon documentaries from these peoples. Like I'm telling you, like the programming, like Rihanna does the Savage X Fenty show with Amazon every year. Lizzo has this new reality competition. I feel like Nicki's been teasing some stuff with Amazon that might be happening. Like I think Amazon's about to hop. Mary J. Blige had that documentary on Amazon. Like they're hopping into their bag with it a little bit. You know, I'm really excited about this Lizzo thing. As a fat person who can't dance, I never could be on it, but I fuck with it. Like I think it's so beautiful.
And from the trailer, the girls look like they are giving. Like they are dancing.
They're dancing. They're dancing.
So for all y'all that be complaining like you can't find no plus size dancer, where the fuck Lizzo get all these girls from?
Exactly. And I hope we get to know each and every one of their personalities too. I hope it's like an America's Next Top Model kind of situation.
It seems like it's gonna be like a little bit of mess, just like a smidge.
I just want some mess. Like,
of course it is.
When have we ever had a reality show with all fat black women? Like, I want some mess, you know? Like, I want it to be the thing. Like, I'm very excited to tune into this.
But I think this is more so like even important, just like representation, like being able to like, I don't want to say like normalize, like, but like I guess normalize in a way that like you can be like successful on this type of platform, dancing for a huge pop star like Lizzo,
right?
And
who
like
puts on a show.
Who puts on a show?
Working for Lizzo is nothing.
Like,
nothing
but you got to be in
small.
shape.
You got to be in shape.
You can't be up there like Sweetie, out of breath, because it's not going. It's not gonna work.
Because if you're working for Lizzo, baby, you're dancing.
You're down.
Moving. You're up, down, left, right, split, turn over, click, like.
Okay, like
you're doing it all.
I think it'll be cool to see, and I hope that like this like has a resurgence of, you know, confidence for women in those communities that like didn't see themselves, that like have lower self-esteem, and it's like, okay, like not only Lizzo but all these other women are saying this too. Like I think that's going to be really really powerful.
Yeah,
I'm excited, girl. We can't wait, girl. I got Amazon too, girl, so I'll be watching.
I don't have Amazon. I use my friends, but
so you got Amazon.
Yeah, I got Amazon. I got Amazon. But I can't wait. I really can't wait. What else is on this list that we want to talk about?
Well, Eve just had a baby.
Eve did have her baby, and she named him Wolf. I don't get it, but
sure.
God, I'm so happy for her. Like
Ashtray, right?
Not Ashtray. What?
From Euphoria, like Ashtray, like that's his name. Like
I don't watch Euphoria. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I thought the baby's name was Wolf.
It is, but I'm saying like these random ass like names like Ashtray, Wolf. What did Kylie Jenner like name her kid? Like something else.
I definitely don't know what the fuck Kylie Jenner names her fucking.
But it was like
no.
I don't know what the hell you talking about. Like how are those two similar?
She's saying like how it's like random names. That's what she's saying.
Random names. They're like random names that wouldn't traditionally be names.
Okay, I'm like those are not the same thing at all. What the fuck are you talking about?
There was you got me. Sure.
I was there with you. I was with
somebody understood you, baby. Somebody understood you. Because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but still very happy for Eve. Like you're a mom to a newborn at 41. That's exactly how I'm gonna be. That's exactly how I'm gonna be. That's exactly how I'm gonna be. A mom to a newborn at 41. I ain't having no kids before then, okay?
I'm not having no kids.
I'm not having no kids until I find my billionaire like Eve did. What?
Hey.
We can talk about Flo Milli too. She was in a New York Fashion Week show and she did of her new song.
Yes.
Black.
I can't wait for it.
If she don't do nothing, she puts on for the dark skinned girls. Like she
motherfucking should.
She always does.
Yeah, you're right.
As she motherfucking should.
It's like she gonna let y'all know.
And she looks stunning. Like, can we just talk about this woman?
But she just is stunning. Like she just is.
It's
beautiful.
Like just so incredibly beautiful a person. And like every time I look at her, I'm like, wow. Like, wow, your team. First of all, you're just stunning on your own. But like the looks, the hair, the makeup, it just never fucking misses. And the fact that she's talented on top of that, and it seems like everybody fucks with this bitch. Like everybody just fucks with her. So
you don't have a choice.
I just don't imagine her being a bad person. And you know, like we said, we flow militant to the motherfucking end on this bitch. Okay? We are flow militant.
Thinking about it, I kind of think I want to see a Bree Runway Flo Milli collab.
Have they ever hinted at that? Have they ever hinted at that? Do they know each other?
I don't think they know each other? Do. I don't know.
I want them to
They haven't talked to each other on Twitter or nothing like that, but
I want them to.
I really think they can make some shit shake.
I really, that would be like the pretty Black girls who just have like incredible flows. Like that would unite the diaspora. Okay, that would unite unite us all. Okay,
that would make it a good Black History Month.
Come on.
Even if we just got an announcement, even if they just took a photo together, like that would be all that I needed.
That would
all the healing we need.
That would make my Black History Month, you know?
Oh, we forgot about Little Sims winning Best New Artist at the Brits.
Oh, wait. I watched that. Did you watch the speech that she gave? Oh my God. It was so sweet. I loved it. Like, I love not little British, but I just love the British accent, and she got emotional, and I really loved it. Congratulations to Little Sims.
Yeah, she's been going off like this last year. So I'm thinking she's gonna drag it into this year, and she should. I don't know much about like the music scene outside of the girls.
Yeah, me either.
I don't pay attention to these niggas.
Nor should we. Nor motherfucking should.
But my girl, she's making a lot of recognition, so I'm excited.
And not even just from people in the UK either. Mm-hmm. Like just recognition all over, which tells me, why do I think like, because like,
why do she's gonna go on tour?
I don't know. I'm not talking about it like a tour, but why do I think she's gonna be like on Kendrick Lamar's new album? Or why do I think that like there's a collab for them in the future? I can see. I see it. Like I see it. Like I see it. Okay. I don't have any follow up or any explanation to why I see it.
Guesstimation,
y'all. But I see it. But I really fucking see it.
Now, when it happened, y'all know we A&R.
When it happens, I accept PayPal. I accept international wires.
Bitcoin, crypto.
I don't accept that. Actually, I need my shit in cold hard motherfucking cash, baby. I don't give a fuck. I don't play with none of that shit. I don't accept NFTs. I do not accept crypto or Bitcoin or any of that shit. I need money. What else? Okay.
Oh, the last thing I wanted to talk about, I don't know if you was gonna bring this up. I was gonna talk about the return of Yo MTV Raps.
Yes.
Yes.
Is this like random or is this like a thing that's been in the works? Because why is this the first time I'm ever hearing of this?
Because this is the first time we've ever heard of this.
So this is random. Like it just came up. Like this hasn't been in the works like for years.
Yeah, it's not nothing that people have like hinted at that MTV Raps is coming back. So it's gonna be on Paramount Plus. You funny.
I don't have that, so
I don't either.
It's like, why do they keep trying to make all these new streaming services happen? Stop.
Right. Stop. It, please.
But
just bring back cable, goddammit, if that's the case.
That's true.
No, literally 100%. Just bring back cable.
But I don't know if you all, this looks good. If y'all were around, well, y'all was around. But y'all remember when they brought back TRL for a little bit with
and it didn't
DC Young Blood.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Mm-hmm. So the only reason why I really want this one to like really shake and do something is because Diamond Cuts is on it, and she's been a DJ that like I've heard about for a long time.
Yeah, she sounds familiar.
Yeah, her name gets dropped a lot in certain things, and like when people talk about DJs, they're like, oh, like we gotta remember the women DJs. Like her name usually pops up a lot. So like she's been in it for like a good 10, I would say, years. So
okay,
at least I know that she can bring something like music wise to it. And I'm thinking Conceited is supposed to be like the
comedian type. Or
Conceited's gonna bring in the Joe Budden crowd. But am I wrong? The Joe Budden, Nick Cannon, that crowd that we need.
No, you're not wrong. You're not
the crowd that uses the word dope in conversation. Ew. But am I wrong?
You're not.
Because you know exactly who I'm talking about.
I know.
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
I can picture it. I got it.
But yeah, what do y'all think? Do y'all see?
I hope it goes over well. I mean, like I have a I don't know. I don't know how I feel about reboots all the time because it's like you're always trying to keep up with what it used to be, and so it's like I don't know. I'm interested to see how it'll go down, but new people in the space, so hopefully they bring like fresh perspective and like their own spin to the show. Hopefully,
here's what I think about it because I have been thinking about this since I thought that. Since I saw that yesterday is what I mean. I think it's gonna work.
Okay.
And here's why. I think the TRL reboot didn't work because it came at a time when we were so in these in-between stages of pop culture. Like the new reign wasn't exactly in and the old reign wasn't exactly out. And it was a very weird time. I think we are very firmly in a new pop culture era where hip hop is king, where hip hop permeates all levels of pop culture. So it's not like you're going to be putting this on and the people in the middle of fucking Kentucky are going to be like, what's this? I don't listen to rap music, because they do. It's not like the clothes they're wearing or anything is going to be, it's not like they're like, everybody's going to get the TikTok references that will inevitably be included. Everybody's going to know the young artists who are on this show. I think now is the perfect time to bring something back like this because hip hop is king in culture right now. And I think this is going to work the way that TRL wanted to work. But I think here's the thing about that though, since you brought up TRL, I think if it came back today, it would work. Because we're very back in the 2000s nostalgia era, and people would flock to TRL. But I think they would have to
more, not necessarily more access to the to the people,
but they do.
But they want to see more. I guess they want to have more areas for them to perform and more time for them to talk compared to just
we don't have
shit on the internet. Yeah,
we don't have a TRL. We don't have a TRL
because it's they're going on late night shows if they can, or doing I don't know, other random performances. That's so true. I didn't.
But we don't have our TRL because TRL was for a very different audience. There was always late night shows in the 2000s, but TRL was for a very young audience, and it came at the right time. And I think this is coming at the right time. So
that's an interesting perspective.
I think it's gonna work.
I think it could too. I think their first season they have to have heavy hitters or someone who.
Oh, they're gonna have a big one. They're gonna have a big interview
in the works of being a heavy hitter. So in order for it to work, I would like to see how they structure this.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. Is there anything else on this list we want to talk about?
I'm trying to see what else I put on here.
Oh, Megan is hinted at a new album. Cardi hinted at a new album. But we knew that though. We kind of said that was gonna happen. So that's gonna happen. Coi Leray is going on hiatus because she's feeling drained, but she has a project that's supposedly coming out next month. I don't really, again, I still don't care for her music, so but I do think people should stop being so mean to her.
I do agree about that as well.
So mean to her. Jesus Christ.
I'm mean. I'm mean, but I always back it up with, these are people that I love and respect. I'm not out here saying you should kill yourself because you're an ugly, dumb,
right? Because people be saying
bitch.
Crazy shit,
hater shit, hate in their heart,
which really sucks. What else? Oh, they use Licked in an Ivy Park commercial or Valentine's collection, and I guess we were wrong because one thing I'm never gonna do is go against Beyonce.
Oh,
so,
I am on this one. Sorry.
What do you mean?
I'll go against her on this one, baby.
Why? What are your thoughts?
Even she makes mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, it was cute for the commercial, but okay.
Yeah, the song is still.
It didn't make me want to go revisit it just because Beyonce put her stamp of approval on it.
Fair.
Not at all. Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have anything else?
No, I don't think so. We hope you enjoyed the interview.
Yeah, we really hope you enjoyed the interview. And, if you didn't listen to this part at all, you can always come back and revisit it. Yeah, so bye. And hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Where My Girls At. And today's actually a really special episode because we have a guest and we have an interview. So we have Adeerya here, and Adeerya wrote an incredible piece that we're going to talk about today about Dirty South feminism. But before we get into talking about that piece, Adeerya, do you just want to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Tell us about how you got into this work or your hip hop background. How did this come up?
Yeah, so thanks for having me. Again, I'm Adeerya Johnson. I am currently a third-year PhD student at the Social Justice Institute.
Y'all heard that? PhD. PhD.
Yes.
Okay,
correct.
doctor.
Correct.
Period. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're fine. I actually go to school in Canada. People don't know that. So my university is the University of British Columbia. Yeah.
Not the 6.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So my background is, I guess I'm a student of African American studies and hip hop studies, but I've always been connected to women in hip hop since undergrad. I think my first paper was on Black women's representation in hip hop, my senior year of college. So that has always just been my thing. But over the years, I've engaged in hip hop feminism a lot through the work of Joan Morgan, and Trisha Rose specifically. And those are like my feminist, hip hop feminist foremothers. But really, how I kind of got into dirty South feminism was because of the isolation that I was experiencing in Canada. More so just the fact that I'm like the only Black woman in my class. And because my department is so interdisciplinary within the field of like race, gender, and sexuality, I don't know. I just kind of mapped out my own experiences and like made way for myself. And so I just started writing, like, I don't know, middle of the pandemic, stressed out like everybody was, and I was just doing whatever. So I'm like writing like about my experiences growing up in Atlanta.
I absolutely get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you grew up in Atlanta.
Yeah. I'm an Atlanta girl. I represent Decatur because that's literally where I like grew up. But I'm a Southern girl.
Decatur. Okay.
Decatur was greater. Okay. Great. And so. So yeah, basically I was just thinking about like my experiences growing up as like a Black girl in Atlanta. And thinking about the skating ring and like the different like hand games we would play like as little girls and the different songs that came out in like late 90s, early 2000s, you know, thinking about like Two Live Crew, thinking about Soulja Boy, thinking about Gucci Mane, the crunk era, the snap era, just all of these eras and how they kind of shaped how I was informed about, you know, hip hop. Like I'm aware, like we're aware of like East Coast and West Coast rap, but like when you're from the South, there's this piece of dancing that makes it unique, right? So I wrote this blog post, and a lot of my friends loved it, and my research supervisor loved it. Thank you. Yeah. And that kind of took me there, and then here I am, like a year and a half later. I submitted an abstract, and we have a published article.
Yeah, that's so amazing, and I love that.
Congratulations on that.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes. Congratulations on that. But I do love that you bring up this point about how, like, you know, everybody talks about East Coast and like West Coast hip hop, but you know, like Andre 3000 said, the South got something to say.
I have that tatted on my arm.
And we really. Exactly, and we can't like count that out when we talk about hip hop. And so I really love how you centered, you know, women in your view of it. So I'm actually just gonna, because we've been talking about this piece a little bit, I'm just gonna read your abstract that you wrote. I don't know how you feel about having like hearing your own work read to you or anything like that, because like I personally hate the sound of my voice, and I edit this podcast and my other podcast. I do it every week, and I have to listen to my own voice. I don't know how you feel about that, but I really love this. So the piece is titled Dirty South Feminism. The girlies got something to say too. Southern hip hop women fighting respectability, talking mess, and twerking up the dirty South. So the abstract, you know, says within Southern hip hop, minimal credit has been given to Black women who have curated sonic and performance narratives within the Southern region. Many Southern hip hop scholars and journalists have centralized the accomplishments and masculinities of Southern male rap performances. Here, Dirty South Feminism works to explore how agency, location, and Black women's rap, lyrics and rhyme, and dance, twerking performances in Southern hip hop are established under a contemporary hip hop womanist framework. I critique the history of Southern hip hop culture by decentralizing male dominated and hyper masculine Southern hip hop identities. Second, I extend hip hop feminist womanist scholarship that includes tangible references of Black womanhood that emerge out of the South to see how these narratives reshape and reinform representations of Black women and girls within Southern hip hop culture. I use Dirty South feminism to include geographical understandings of Southern Black women who've grown up in the South and have been sexually shamed, objectified, and pushed to the margins in Southern hip hop history. I seek to explore the following questions. How does the performance of Black women's presence in hip hop dance localize the South to expand narratives within Dirty South hip hop? How can the Dirty South, as geographical place within hip hop, be a guide to disrupt a conservative hip hop South through a hip hop womanist lens? Now that was a lot, and it is much smarter than us. Believe me, some of us barely made it through undergrad.
No.
But I think you bring up like really important points. And when I first read it, I just found myself going like, yes, like every time, like, so we can talk about our first impressions too, if y'all want to talk about like your first impressions on reading it. But like, I was just like, I was like agreeing with you on so many of these points, and like to see it in print and to see it written by a Black woman. You know, I didn't know you were out there in British Columbia, but like even still, like to see it written by a Southern Black woman, like from your mouth, like it just like really hit in like a different way. Like I was like, I love this. Like I really did love it, and like you're so incredibly like brilliant, and I love the way that you say things, and I just, you know, I just like, I really loved it, so I just wanted to give you your props on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll go next. I had this similar experience reading it. I was just like, wow, this is everything I've been trying to say that I can't really like formulate and get out. So like we have a lot of conversations on here just about women in rap in general, of course, but just like the idea of sexuality and like pleasure. And I guess for us as like people who aren't scholars, we're just like pulling things together, and it's kind of making sense in our head, but I don't know how well it necessarily translates to the audience, like if they are catching on to our points. So I feel like reading this, it was kind of like a yes, like this is everything I was trying to say. Like this is what I've been trying to get across to people. So we really hope that this interview gets people to like want to read it and see what you have to say. So yeah, I love it. Congratulations. It was great.
Yeah, and also just wanting to engage more in, you know, the dirty South feminism, you know, as you put it, or just engage more with Black women from the South in hip hop.
Right, totally. And so I'll start off by saying that I'm originally from Texas. So when you were talking about like little Black girls like growing up looking at these like powerful women, I was like, it's me, like she's talking about me. Yeah, and like similar to Shermie and Mariah, like I feel like being able to bring in the conversation of like, you know, sexuality, dominance, you know, bravado, and being able to have that expressed in such a positive light. I think being able to dive deeper, and especially like to Shermie's point, like, you know, we talk about this on our podcast all the time, but I think being able to have, you know, the facts to back it up, now we can reference you saying like, hey, we got receipts now. So I was really excited.
Said that.
We got a
okay,
doctor.
a doctor.
So no, it's really it just like reaffirms, I think, just things that we say all the time, and now we have some receipts. So I'm excited to get into more about this abstract.
So who wants to start? Because we did write down some questions. Shermie, why don't you start? Because you kind of put this whole thing together. Yeah. So why don't you start with your question first? Because there were some like things that we just like really stuck out to us that we really want to like hear your thoughts about.
Yeah, so for me, the section that really stuck out was the Southern Belle section. So really talking about how the women of the South are like fighting against the Southern Belle themes. And so I'm from Chicago. I'm not from the South. And yes, I've always known
me
that.
Too.
Yeah, I'm saying me and Mariah are. And
I mean, Southside Chicago, right?
You funny.
Listen, everybody in Chicago got family in Mississippi, Louisiana, Atlanta. Like, listen, Chicago niggas is just like, we're just different because we have coats. That's it. That's it. We the same.
Right. We the same, but we live in a different life up there. But the idea of like fighting against the Southern Belle was like an aha moment for me when I was reading it. So for you, Adeerya, I was just wondering, like, what does the Southern Belle look like to you? Like, how does it look now compared to in the past? And yeah, just kind of like explain to our audience what a Southern Belle is. Because to me, y'all might hate me when I say this, but when I think of Southern Belle, I'm thinking Phaedra Parks. So
why was I just about to say that? Why was I just about to say Phaedra Parks?
Because that was her thing. Like that was her
thing. She was a Southern Belle, and she's from Atlanta too. I think she's also from Decatur.
I think she is.
That I don't know. But yeah, if you could like explain that trope, like what it looks like, how it shows up.
Yeah, so historically when we're thinking about the Southern Belle, it was always a white woman, right? So if we're thinking like antebellum period, we're thinking, I hate the word slavery, but during that era, like that is the ideal of like the poised woman, the Southern woman who, you know, takes care of the house, but she's also like she's she's upper class, right? So she has this poise, this type of like rich, wealthy energy that, stands out that Black women never had access to, right? But then, of course, when we're looking into the Reconstruction period and the growth of like HBCUs and like Black wealth, then there are Black women who are taking on this type of class dynamic, right? And we see that now with like Jack and Jill programs. We kind of see it a little bit with like our sororities, We kind of see it with my Spelman sisters who are from the South. So claiming this type of femininity that kind of has this history where only white women had access to. But I think the great thing about representation for Black women is that, we try to make it where we can. But contemporary, I mean, I agree. I'm thinking about Phaedra Parks. I'm thinking about, our Southern like women who have this poise, who have this certain class dynamic. But the Southern Belle, she isn't, coming out of these like rural, like urban communities. She's not like poor. She is wealthy. She has this elite class dynamic to her. And so in my writing and mentioning it is the way that we're disrupting what the Southern woman looks like in the context of Southern hip hop. Specifically in the context of like the word of like the dirty South, because if you're a Southern Belle, you're not dirty, but it's also the duality and the contradictions of like hip hop feminism. Like maybe you are both. Maybe you are like, you're classy in these ways, but you like to get ratchet and turn up. You may go to your Jack and Jill like meetings, but we might find you, like on the couch, dancing and turning with your homegirls. But I think it's, again, kind of recognizing that duality, but also understanding that the Southern Belle isn't a realistic, I guess, persona that everybody has in the South. But it's also this understanding of respectability and what Black women from the South should be like and how they should strive to be. And we see that with like, our debutante balls and how that's pretty big in the South as well. So it's just looking at all those dynamics and those ways that we look at the imagery of Black women in the South when it comes to kind of these class dynamics of what that looks like.
And what do you think about like the rise of hip hop per se and like how it's, working against or like hindering like this trope and especially women in hip hop because I've found and all of us like having access to the internet and all these like celebrities having access to the same internet just be saying shit that a lot of their lyrics don't really sometimes don't align with their more conservative values as like people, and so especially the women. And so what do you think of like how the Southern Belle trope fits into or doesn't fit into the image of a female rapper as a whole?
I mean, I think it just falls into respectability politics in general for how women are supposed to behave in popular culture or just when it comes to representation of Black people. So, the Southern Belle or the idea of being respectable or being this poised woman, it doesn't help when leading hip hop artists talking about shaking ass and robbing and scamming men and all these other things, right?
My favorite activities.
Right. So it's like, when are we allowed to make the decisions for our own like identity and representation? Because at the end of the day, where has respectability gotten us? And historically, we have always occupied these spaces of sexuality when we're talking about like Black blues women like Ma Rainey. Like historically,
yes,
there were and there have always been Black women that just don't fit into this mold of the respectable Southern women, like it's always going to be like that, and I don't think the rise of hip hop is going to change that. I think it's more hyper focused because of social media and the way that hip hop spreads and the ways in which Black people want to be liberated based on imagery and how we're perceived. But again, my thing is when people have the access, they don't really know the history. And I think the great thing about studying Southern hip hop is that when you look at
you just said a lot right there. Don't get me started now.
I'm just saying, I think when you know the history of music and when you study the history of music and even the history of Southern music, you know that Southern hip hop comes from these like long like genres, like these long genres of like blues and soul and jazz and gospel,
Right,
which makes
right.
Southern music so unique. But there were always
Exactly.
women a part of those genres. And specifically, when we talk about blues women, like they were talking about the same thing that the city girls are saying.
The same
Literally the
thing.
same thing.
Okay,
Literally the
the
same.
same shit.
It's just
And they want to act
repackaged.
like it's brand new, like
Brand
they ain't
new,
never
It's
heard
not.
that
literally.
shit. Like they
No.
mamas and grandmas wasn't city girls too.
I'll be
Literally.
a shameless plug and give you all the title of the book, but I know it was by what is that lady's name? It's falling on me. Give me a second, but I'm ready for the next question.
Take your time. Okay. All right, I love that. Cherie, did you have
Yeah, I just
another?
wanted to pull out a little excerpt, I think that's what you call it, from the from the article based off of what we've been talking about. So, the legacy of women in hip hop lives in a binary of being a respectable woman versus a hypersexual Jezebel. Scholars have also noted in contemporary hip hop that Black women are now battling the binary of respectability and the ratchet stereotype. And as soon as I heard that, I was just like, oh my god, like even if you take this outside of hip hop, like women are constantly like fighting and going back and forth of like whether they can whether they're like too ratchet or not. So it made me think of like the what do people call it now? Bouge ghetto era that people are
Bugetto.
in. Yeah.
Bougetto?
Yeah,
Bugetto.
there it
Okay.
is.
That's what they're calling. That's what the kids are calling it these days.
Mhm.
That's what they call it.
Oh.
But my question based off of that was do you think that a lot of people's response to like the idea of ratchetness and ghetto-ness is because they're trying to do a lot of like correcting of the representation of Black women that we've seen?
Mm, explain more. I feel like I get it, but I'm a little off the question.
Basically, I guess what I'm trying to what am I asking? So I guess like the negative response to like the idea of being ratchet or
Okay.
ghetto Jezebels, whatever people want to call it. Do you
Mhm.
think a lot of that response is because a lot of people are trying to like quote unquote correct the images that people have seen of Black women in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's two sided because I think there's a certain type of woman. If we're thinking about like women who are ghetto or from the hood or who are ratchet, like in those communities, like that's understood. Like my friend Ratchet, like girl, okay,
Yeah, I
like
understand that.
it's I don't think it takes that much. I don't think the amount of shame is as heavy when it's like other elitist like black groups that try to shame it because I think one thing that I learned from Mickey Kendall's Hood Feminism is that like the lives and experiences that black girls in like low income or urban communities experience is a different type of like culture that folks who don't live in those communities understand. And I think that falls in line with what it means to be, you know, ghetto or hood or ratchet because those are real people with real lives. And oftentimes they may not see their experience as negative because that's just their experience, you know. And of course, again, going back to respectability politics, you know, they want to shame girls from the hood for being who they are. And that comes out in like dialect and language. Like just because I have a southern accent doesn't mean I'm ignorant, you know, or just because, you know, so and so uses slang, that
Yeah.
doesn't mean she's stupid. And that's something that comes up
Right.
in the classes with like when I did teach, like I had taught this high school class of students, they were taking a college course and they're just saying like, and they're just high school girls just expressing like, I know what I'm trying to say, you know, and it's just like, this is where I come from, and this is how I talk. And I think that kind of loses its essence for like black culture because there's just some ways that we live, grow, and experience life just because of where we have, like where our roots are planted. And so trying to shake that and try to shame black folks who just talk and live based on where they come from creates this ideology that we're supposed to be better as if the way that we are is already problematic.
And have you like ever seen any examples of like people doing that to like Black women in hip hop, like specifically? Like, can you think of any like where people are like, shaming them for like the way they dress or like the way they talk, like very specifically because they don't get it?
I mean, our very own hip hop legends do the same stuff. You know, that's the crazy part.
Yeah,
it's like
I was there, but
you like the video vixens enough just to be in your videos, but then you don't really consider them like good women, good enough women. But you cheat on your wives with these video vixens, you know. And I think again, it's like understanding that like Black people aren't monolithic, and we come from different places. Yes. And that's why I center like the geography of the South, because we have this historical connection to the antebellum South, and we do have this unique connection, you know, to these Southern roots that make us different in regards to Black folks who have migrated to other cities. And this doesn't just negate the fact of like the Black experience because you're from the South, you know, and that comes up in conversation of Southern hip hop. You know, when Southern hip hop started to make its rise in the early, 90s, East Coast and West Coast, you know, like producers and like labels were not trying to hear that because of the way of like how literally rappers are talking and what they're talking about. So it's like shaming the South when it's just like, y'all couldn't be here without the South in the first place.
Exactly.
Ooh, okay.
And when you bring up a really good point about like video vixens and like how they're like, and like the strip club culture and dancing and you know, about how like they're good enough to be in the videos and like sell merchandise and draw in the crowd, but you don't respect them. And I think Bree, when we were talking, like you had brought up a really good point about this. So did you want to go ahead and like take over like your question about dancing, because that's a really big part of this and I really love that.
Yeah, well, first I want to share, like, I liked this point that you had here. I put a star by it. You said Black women who occupy hip hop visuals, erotic dance cultures actually center and support the lives of Black sex workers that fuel sex economy of hip hop, which I thought was super interesting. But yeah, like kind of going back to the whole notion of dancing, you also mentioned that like I find the extracting interviews from strippers and video vixens like Kareen Steffens, Melissa Ford, and Bucky the Body grants them a space to discuss their career choices and to address Black women's sexual and physical freedoms that challenge male notions of female sexuality and pleasure. And so my question is, you know, have you seen like ET Video Vixen's YouTube series? If so, what are your thoughts there?
So I haven't seen the series, but I've seen the documentary like related to that, you know, where it was Melissa Ford, you know, kind of talking about her experiences. And I don't want to call her Superhead. Why can't I think of her real name? Kareen Steffens. Like
Kareen Steffens.
Yes, like her experiences. And just Manel Miller has this book called Brown Sugar that looks at like Black women in pornography, and she has this section on hoe theory, you know, and she outlines the ways in which like the idea of being a hoe is meant to diminish, like, and again, shame women who, you know, are exploring their sexuality or performing it for capital through pornography or being a video vixen and all of these things. And I guess the reason I'm behind, again, incorporating that and this understanding of like video vixens in the South and like sex workers and strippers, you know, is an understanding that, again, looking at the geographical landscape of what Southern hip hop looks like for women. And when we're looking at dance specifically, strip clubs, you know, have a big impact on the culture. And not just because we see strippers dancing in the music videos, but factually, like Magic City in Atlanta is the club that like, artists will go, you know, sample their music at. Like you're going to hear it first before it go out on the radio, before it starts. Right, the dancers got to approve it. if it's something for them to shake their ass with, then it's a hit. But if it's not, then you have to go back in the studio.
That's what they said on P Valley.
And literally for to mention P Valley.
What did she say?
Literally for to mention P Valley. Like that is what happens in the South, you know, and validating that this pushes the culture. Literally, like if you don't have a place, you know, if you don't have a place in the strip club to like showcase this music, or if you want your music video to pop, and you wanted to make it sexy, you're not going to call your homeboys to make it sexy. You're going to call these girls at Magic City, at G Live, at G5. Like, you were going to call these women. You know, you're going to do this casting call for women.
That's so true.
And then I guess back to the earlier point about, like, you know, people who are shaming these workers are our own rappers. And Snoop Dogg has said a lot of crazy things about, like, women. And it's like, you had a whole, like, collection of porn. Like, Snoop Dogg, like hip-hop porn, like you did that. So, you know, yeah, he's definitely
it
like...
It actually made me think of like Jermaine Dupri too.
Same.
I don't know if y'all remember when he had the comment saying like, oh, a lot of the women rappers that we have now, they're like all ex-strippers or they're all strippers. And it's like...
Right.
But it's like, don't you see how easily one could go from being one to the other in hip-hop? Like, they're so intertwined.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's a part of the culture.
And, like, I guess
no, that's all I had to say.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, speaking of the culture, like, you also mentioned here, like, Black women's sexual agency, where they have the power to sell the rapper with dancing abilities and looks, and you know, this could also go into like our other points about like agency and stuff like that. But you know, do you also see how I guess like the industry continues to use like our bodies as a way of like pushing their agenda for like marketability and stuff like that? Like, how would you respond to like questions like that of like, you know, yeah, they feel good in their body, but that's how they sell music. Like, you know, like, how would you respond?
I mean, it goes a lot of different ways, but my argument is always the same. Like, how are you going to tell somebody if they're being manipulated or not? You know, I mean, of course, manipulation is very real. Let me put that out there. People are manipulated. You know, people are hypersexualized. I don't want that to be like, I want to be clear that that is a thing. But I think the great thing about like hip hop feminism is to recognize those contradictions, that like there is some terrible rap music out there that talks terribly about women, but there are also women who will go to these video shoots and dance behind the artist for them songs. And nobody can tell you about your self-worth but yourself, because it's your motherfucking self. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Not a polo.
And that's the scary part. It's like the idea, it's a lot. It's like the idea that, you know, because historically, yes, Black women have been victims of hypersexuality. You know, if we're looking at the Jezebel and the Sapphire, and we're looking at, you know, all the ways in which Black women have been raped in the past and sexually assaulted in the past, and how our bodies have been labeled as grotesque because we have bigger hips than other racialized groups. Yes, those things are very real. Those are very apparent. But I think there's always space to recognize the fact that, one, all of these women who, I'm not sure all, a lot of these women who are engaging in sex within hip hop, like, they're adult women. And what if there is a possibility that these women actually want to do what they want to do and they like doing what they want to do? Because the reason that people interpret that they don't like doing it is because people project shame onto these women. It's like, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Exactly. Like, you hate your life. Why do I have to hate mine?
Yeah, you know, you don't love yourself because you are showing X amount of pieces. Like, these have to be private. But there is a space for privacy in public, you know, like expression of sexuality. But Black women always have to put their sexuality in the private. But even if you're private about it and somebody blasts your stuff, or it come outside of the bedroom, married or not, you are still going to be labeled a hoe. So it's this idea of trying to...
damned if you do, damned if
exactly.
you don't.
Yeah. So as much as you try to kind of escape these, you know, racialized stereotypes, it's the idea that maybe for once, let Black women navigate their autonomy when it comes to sex and sexuality, because when has there been a time we've been allowed to do that? because men can do it. You know, men can do it. That's cool.
Effortlessly.
You know, Future can talk about peeing on people. That's cool. You know,
peeing on people. Yes. Let's bring it up.
I mean, if he wants to,
he said that.
But I'm not anti like kink. You know what I'm saying? Like if you are into golden showers,
do your
that's
thing.
fine. Do your thing. And if you want to tell the world about it, do your thing. But the problem is when women, you know, say something, you know, I like to shake my ass. It's like, oh my God, she's bringing down the Black community. How could you say that? We don't believe that.
Everything we've built.
You know,
right?
everything.
And it's like, of all the things that are wrong in the Black community, that's what you're mad about?
The little Black girl, you know, it's just ridiculous. And it's just not fair because we are adult women, you know, and it's the idea that when can adult women express their sexuality?
Yes, and you know what? You bring up a really good point, and it's like it brings me to like our last like really like our big thing, and it was about autonomy.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think of like what drew me as a young girl, young Black girl, like you know, just what drew me to hip hop and specifically to Black women in hip hop was just how like free they were.
Yeah.
You know, the shit that they used to talk and like the way that they used to dress and like, or not used to, but the shit that they talk and the way that they dress and the way that they just like are themselves and they have agency over their selves. And I want to know how big of a role do you think like Southern women in hip hop have played a role in this? And like what is their role in this? Like how big it is for Black women in hip hop to have agency over their own bodies and their own lives and to be as free as they are today. Because I feel like that's the way that we know it.
Yeah.
So how much does Dirty South feminism really play into that and build that?
Dirty South feminism honestly makes me feel happy that I had fun, you know, when I was younger. I think, you know, and that's one thing that I do fear is like my work becomes too academic because I don't want it to be super academic. Like it's about like us. Even if you're not from the South, you like respect the fact like the South has provided some really fun music to like dance to. Like growing up and like lean with it, rock with it, and like passing it to your friends or like
baby, we was all with them big ass white t-shirts,
you know,
okay, with the jabots on,
exactly.
looking like damn fools, okay, but we was doing it,
you know. But it was so much fun. It was so fun, you know, making these videos at the beginning of like YouTube and like MySpace. It's like that was fun. We had fun, and that's how, you know, artists kept pushing new music. So we get Lemon to Rock with, we get to Walk It Out, we get, you know, the Pool Palace, we get Superman, you know, we get all of these different songs, and it's just an experience. And I think when we look at like women like Missy Elliott, you know, people forget that Virginia's, it's the DMV, but we claim it as the South, you know.
But it's the South.
It's the South.
Right.
If you want to draw a geographical line. Right. But she's Southern, you know, and the way that her music videos were always fun. She always had like really cool outfits, really great choreography. You know, she had so many Southern like.
Oh, believe me, we are Missy Elliott.
She's the queen
over here.
You know,
okay,
right?
She's the queen. Period.
And then I think the reason that people love Megan is because she's fun. You know, she's gorgeous. She's a good person. She loves the South, but she's fun. You know, like her music is fun. And when we think about what comes out of the South in regards to like dance in all of its forms, if we're thinking about like majorette dancing and like we're thinking about what that looks like to like go to a game and like dance to live music, like that shit is fun. You know, like it's about having fun and how we push the culture, you know, in these unique ways through dance. That's just fucking fun. You know, go to the strip club and the dancer is on the pole standing on another chick's ankles and then she climbing like that shit looks
just do it all types of shit, you know? Okay. Just like how are you doing this? Okay, those are my favorite athletes.
You know,
okay, yeah, they're the athletes, they're cores.
They're like, I don't know if they're having fun. They might be having fun. They might have fun, but it's fun to look at. Like that is amazing. You know, that's amazing talent.
I'll be having fun.
Right. So it's like thinking about like again what the contradictions that Joe Morgan talks about. How does that look for us in the South? Like the music is telling you, shake your ass, bitch, let me see what you got, and it's like okay, I'm gonna shake my ass because this song is the shit.
I can do that. Okay, if I can't do nothing else, believe me, I can do that.
Right now? At brunch right now?
I mean, it's fun. It's fun and it's harmless, because people always say, "What about the children?" It's just like we are having fun. Like, yes, I was on the wall shaking my little ass in high school. Like, we were all doing it. The guys like it.
Weren't we all?
Like
fuck them kids.
Some guys, they know how to handle. They knew how to handle themselves. Like, they get their little dance and then move on to the next girl, or we all just, like it's fun.
But it's unspoken and it's understood that we're just having
fun.
It's
just fun, And I think when you try to take that away from folks, it brings back that shame that I talk about. It's like, honestly, it's no amount of respect that I'm going to get for white people that's going to make me feel better about doing what I do. Like, I'm not asking for respect from whiteness or white supremacy. Like, I'm asking for liberation, and I feel liberated when I dance.
I love that. I really do love that. And I think that's a really good like closing question for us to ask you, because you said you don't want your work to become too like scholarly or to really like come like so far away from the roots of it and from your roots in Decatur and growing up in the South. So what do you think then is the future of Dirty South feminism? And how do you see the women of rap today aligning themselves with that framework?
Yeah. I love my job right now. I am a digital archivist at the Museum of Pop Culture. And it's me doing research on
very important work. Very important work.
It's me doing research on the early era of hip hop, so like 1975 to like 1999. And I just love the fact that I am doing research and providing history in the most simplest forms. Like, this is Outkast Aquemini. It came out, 1995. Like, here it is. This album did this. Right. Period.
Love it.
It's not me. Aquemini delved into the Afrocentric, experiences. Like, I don't want to do all that.
I'm not doing all that.
I don't want to do all of that. Here it is. Like, even my own paper, it's like, the performance of Black women. It's just like, we are dancing in South and turning up and having a good fucking time. Like, it is what it is. And it's important to us because we love it.
Yeah.
And so with that, I want my dissertation to be an exhibit. So ideally, I want women to submit videos of them dancing. And then
you want her right now? I'll send it right now. That is no problem. Ain't no problem.
Yeah,
ain't no problem. Okay.
When I need
you can put me in a museum. You can put me in a museum.
Look, as soon as I get this approval, I'm going to send out participant requests. If y'all want to do it, I would love to have y'all, and I'm trying to make sure y'all get paid.
I'll sign my name. That ain't no problem.
But that's the point, I want y'all to I want Black girls, Black women from the South to showcase their memories, right? So building this visual archive of how dancing in the South makes you feel, and tell me about it. Literally express to me what this song or this dance mean to you or meant to you 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. And I want to showcase that. I want people to see this type of shit has always been here. So if you want to say Scrub the Ground was your jam and you literally are scrubbing the ground and you want me to show folks this was what you loved, then yes, I want to highlight that and make it accessible for everybody. And if I could build on that with a traveling exhibit with other things and other components, I would want to, because I just don't want to. I love academia, but it's not fair because I'm talking about people that I'm not in community with because academia is so elitist. And if I want Black girls to engage with my work, they can't do that from the University of British Columbia because they don't know where the hell that's at.
Right.
Yeah. If I
I was definitely about to say, girl, outside of I can't pinpoint where that is.
If I could have something really, really cool and cute at at an exhibit at a local community center or a library or the museum in a local neighborhood, I will do that so that folks who look like us and who lived like us in the past, can have something that makes them feel validated within Southern hip hop culture.
Yeah, no, I really love that. Well, thank
that
you.
was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming here and talking to us. So, Adeerya, where can people find you on like social media or maybe a website?
Yes. So you can find me on Twitter at Nubian Locks with a Z. And then you can just honestly Google me, and the first link should be like my website. I don't know. I'm on a million different websites. LinkedIn, my school website. But if you really want to engage,
you hear that? She's everywhere. She's everywhere. She's about to blow up.
Global. Okay.
Yeah.
If global, if you will.
Nah.
Wow. But thank you so much for doing this. Truly, it's like such a pleasure to like talk to you and to read your work and to have you say in such a very educated and smart way all the things our dumbasses are saying. And I just want you to know we've been on our best behavior because usually one of us is drunk or under the influence while we record, and we all came here stone cold sober today.
What?
So
we had to
Did y'all not read the paper? Did y'all not read the paper? I'm from the South, okay?
Look, we new to this. We was a little nervous. We was like, look,
y'all are with
a scholar.
I am regular.
We cannot believe you agreed to do this.
I'm so deprived.
Nah, I'm be honest.
We gotta redo it. Let me come correct.
No.
Respectable politics, if you
will.
Nah.
I want to redo.
You gotta come back and see us in our full form because
exactly we have to have you on for like a full episode where we talk shit.
Oh, bring me back for that one. Bring me back for that one. If y'all talking shit about like Boosie or somebody, yes, let's do it.
We love talking shit about niggas. That's our favorite pastime. Okay, that's all we do.
Mine too.
But thank you so much for being on this episode. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing.
No problem.
It's so important to like have somebody like recording our history and like writing it down because shit gets lost, And another one of my like hobbies and pastimes is like I love like classic Black Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
And I'm always reading on that and researching that. But a lot of that shit from like the 1950s, like 1920s, a lot of that shit is lost to history. And I don't think the same thing needs to happen for this era in hip hop. Like, it just doesn't.
And I
love that you do that.
And I think honestly, we're getting some of the good books of like women's hip hop history. But again, a lot of these journalists are not skin folk or kin folk, and I gotta make sure that we are writing and telling our story.
You said it, not us.
I ain't afraid to say it.
For real.
But thank you, ladies, so much.
But yeah, thank you, and like have a great day.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Where My Girl's At, brought to you by Textured Air, a brand dedicated to celebrating Black girl culture, past, present, and future. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. It really helps. You can find us on Twitter at WhereMyGirlsAt2 and Instagram WhereMyGirlsAt_TH. Make sure you check out our other podcasts, Does It Hold Up?, The Blacklist, and all the other content we offer on our website, texturedair.com. Until next time.